It was a journey that I'm glad I had to take. I don't have a lot of the horror stories that others individuals had to go through, but even as a PK and growing up in the church, we have these trajectories that people don't understand, right?
Yeah.
There's so many unrealistic expectations that are set on you because your father or your mother answered the call into ministry. Now you're living in this microcosm of a society with you feel like you're in a petri dish and people are constantly watching you to see if you're gonna make a mistake. And the grace that they want extended to them is not extended to the pastor's family, right? You have to be above reproach. And even within our household, it was tumultuous inside of the home, but we had to put on a facade outside of the home that everything was, we had it all together.
So how did that affect you?
Oh, it taught me how to hide. It taught me the best place to hide was in church.
Hi, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Guess what? We are in a new space today, and I'm so excited. Welcome to HerStory Hour Podcast. We're so excited to have you here with us. Thank you for joining us. We are at JRL Studios in Gallatin, Tennessee, and we're just excited to be here. And y'all already know, I gotta introduce my guest because every guest that I've brought on here has just been phenomenal, and we have another phenomenal woman here with us, and her name is Latoya. Y'all give it up for Latoya.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you for having me.
No problem. Thank you for being so willing.
I mean, it was an honor
Because
to be asked,
no,
right?
we just met.
What was it? Maybe 3 weeks ago?
Maybe 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
This is our second time seeing each other. And when we were talking, I was just like, oh my God. What are you doing? What are you doing in March? Because I got to get you on this podcast.
I was
Okay.
like, my schedule's open.
Okay.
I'm available.
And let's do this. So if you haven't already, guys, make sure you go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, and share. Again, let's be a part. Let's do this together. Be a part of this community. And I just have a question to ask. Latoya.
Yes, ma'am.
Who are you?
Oh, who am
Who are you?
I?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Picture it.
Okay.
Sicily. No.
Oh, okay. It's a little different, but
No, I am, first and foremost, I am definitely a child of God.
Come on.
The Most High, saved by grace through faith in Jesus Christ.
Come on, tell it.
That is who I am.
Yes.
The foundation of my identity.
Okay,
right?
okay.
I am a daughter. I am a wife.
Yes.
I'm a mother. I am a professional educator.
Yes.
I have, oh my goodness, been in the highest pinnacles of work, and I've achieved so much by God's grace that I didn't have on my bingo card, right?
Okay.
I didn't know these are things that were even possible. I grew up in the backwoods of Mississippi.
Okay,
right?
I didn't know that.
I am
so
a
in the
Mississippi
country.
girl. Oh, country girl.
Okay.
I did not know you could go to a grocery store and buy food for the longest because we grew up on a farm.
Wow.
Yes.
So did you have like animals?
Oh,
animals?
yes, ma'am, Pam.
Really?
All the animals. Like when Shirley sees her, I got green peas.
Oh, you had it all.
I was like, oh, you're reading my family tree, my historical documents. Wow. You know all the things about me growing up.
You know it all.
Yeah. So don't let all of this fool you, right? I picked eggs.
That's
I picked
amazing.
in the field. I fed cows, bottle-fed cows, right?
Wow, you got to teach me thy ways.
It is so much fun.
Okay.
I
want
took it
to
for
learn.
granted growing up, but now I'm like, oh my goodness, I want to be a homesteader again.
Yeah. No, I want to learn for real.
This is a different conversation, different podcast.
Cool.
Right?
Okay, cool.
So definitely have to have me back.
Right.
Grew up in the backwoods of Mississippi, but absolutely loved it. Did not know that we were poor by societal definitions because there was so much love. Our home was rich in love. Our home was rich in community. Our home was rich in faith. I primarily grew up with my grandmother and my grandfather.
Okay.
My mom had me when she was in college, and she was on a basketball scholarship.
What?
So my grandmother was like, give me that baby. You going back to school.
Yeah,
so my grandmother was my best friend.
Wow, I love it.
We were together forever. Everyone thinks my aunt and I were sisters.
Okay.
Because we were so close.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So you're married?
I am married.
Okay.
My husband and I have been married. Oh my goodness! Next month will be 19 years.
Amazing.
19
Congratulations.
years. Thank you. Give it up for 19 years.
Yeah, you know
right?
what? This month is 7 years.
Oh,
We ain't quite at 19 yet.
hold on.
But,
just keep going. 7.
But we are 7 years this month. Next week,
amazing.
Actually, on Monday. Yeah.
That is absolutely
Yeah,
happy anniversary.
Thank you. I love my man.
Oh, you better. I love
him.
mine.
Okay,
Here is a good
one. So you have children?
Yes, I'm the
Okay.
mother of 2 teenagers.
Okay. I see the
I
eyes.
have a 16-year-old and a 15-year-old boy and a girl. They're amazing kids. I love my children.
Yeah.
They had me running today. But
Okay.
I feel like I'm a glorified,
teenagers.
what is it, taxi driver? Uber.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm a glorified Uber.
Of course.
Because we don't get tips and we don't get ratings.
Yeah. I understand. So how old were you when you had your children, and what was that like?
Oh, my goodness. I was 25 and 27.
Okay.
I was told that I would actually never have children.
Really?
When I was 16 years old.
And how did that come about?
Oh my goodness, had some health complications that came about. I had fibroid tumors, all of these things at 16.
Wow.
So you just imagine having this desire to be a mother and being told you'll never be able to have children. And then just on a whim, one night, my husband and I were getting ready to go out to dinner. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I think I want to have a glass of wine. So I'm just going to take a test just in case.
Yeah.
I was not feeling ill, had no inkling anything was going on.
Yeah.
Took the test and I was like,
oh my God.
Oh, that can't be right.
We got the same story.
I was like, this can't be right.
Yeah.
So I went and took another one and it said the same thing. And we were living in Memphis at the time. And I was like, oh, these Memphis tests must be.
Not the Memphis tests.
They are.
Not.
They're bad. So I'm going to go to Mississippi and buy tests.
Stop. And you were for real?
I did.
Okay.
So I went to Mississippi and purchased more tests.
Okay.
And then took them and went home. I was like,
oh my gosh.
And I told my husband, I was like, hey, this thing says I'm pregnant.
And how long were you married before?
We were married 2 years before.
Okay.
We figured out.
So did you already have that talk with him saying, hey?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We had been. So we met in college. So we were having
you.
that conversation in college. And I was like, listen, they've told me this. Mm-hmm. I have this desire to be a mother. If that means I have to adopt, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I know I was put here to be a mom.
Isn't God amazing?
Absolutely amazing. Even the doctor was like,
Yeah.
I don't know how you
That's crazy.
got pregnant.
Wow. I have a similar story too.
Oh, please share.
Yeah. So I was told that if I were to have kids, it would be hard.
Yeah.
Or I may not have them.
Yeah.
At all.
Oh.
And so I was going through complications, missed cycles, and all this other stuff. Yeah, all the things. And I had PCOS.
I was going to say PCOS warrior, endometriosis, all the things, right?
All the things. And we were trying for 3 years. At the time, we've been just trying for 3 years. And it was my mom's birthday was coming up. So my cousins were coming into town, and so we were going to have wine.
Yeah.
And
That's
so
wild.
I know it's crazy. And so I was just like, okay, well, before I do that, I promise you I wasn't feeling sick, ill, or any. I don't even know if I knew I missed my cycle then. I don't know.
But being so irregular, it's hard. It was hard to tell anyway,
It was
right?
hard. And so I was just like, well, let me just buy this, before I drink anything.
Yes.
And I was at the house and I took the test. And it was one of those strip ones. So
I needed words.
Yeah, one of my friends bought me like a big bag of like all the HCG.
HCG.
The strips. And I looked at that and it was just dark, 2 dark lines. I'm just like, wait a minute. I was shocked.
Yeah.
And I had to call somebody. So I called her. I was just like, oh my God, I think I'm pregnant. And I was literally pregnant. And this was actually 6 months after I had a miscarriage.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was pregnant, went to the doctor. She said, you know what? You're having twins. I said,
what?
Come again? Me and my husband just laughed. But from not having children to having a miscarriage, which brought the hope okay,
yes,
I can get pregnant.
yes.
Let me just believe some more. Let me keep believing.
Oh,
Let me keep
that
having
foundation
faith.
of belief,
Mm,
it is life changing, right?
yes,
When you really actually tap in and have that understanding of what faith actually is for yourself.
for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm talking about miracles. Miracles. Like pregnancy was great.
Oh, I
Delivery
love
was
it.
great.
I love
My
it.
babies are great. Healthy, happy.
Twins.
Yes.
Oh.
And then right after that, I had a boy.
Oh.
I said, well, Lord, you're showing out.
Oh, listen, overflow. I call that overflow.
Yeah.
That's absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
After having my son, like he was a joy. He was the child. The ultrasound tech was like, "Smile, baby, you're about to have your picture taken." He smiled. So my 3D ultrasound picture
He's
is this beautiful little
smiling.
boy smiling with big rosy cheeks.
What?
Yes.
Oh my!
So,
well, I have to see pictures.
Oh, I'm
'cause
definitely going to show you that.
Yeah,
One.
you gotta.
He's the epitome of joy.
I love it.
And my daughter is the epitome of calm.
I
and
love
they're
it.
very empathetic children.
Yeah.
They're very just absolutely amazing. They are an absolute blessing.
Yeah, I
That
love
second
that.
pregnancy almost took us out though.
Same.
Oh, it was.
Same.
I
Yeah.
actually had an IUD. Woke up one morning and I was like, oh, it's there's the IUD. It came out. The next day, I found out I was pregnant.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, oh, you wanted to be here.
Yeah.
And pregnancy was hard. Oh my goodness, it was a very difficult pregnancy. I developed preeclampsia.
Oh my gosh.
Was hospitalized, then ended up having to have an emergency C-section. Baby was in the NICU for 66 days before we could bring her home. Yeah.
So how are you feeling in those moments?
You talk about a person that prayed. I had prayed a dangerous prayer, right? The prayer was, Lord, increase my faith. Yeah,
The
be
Lord
careful.
you be careful.
Be careful when you, let me look at the camera directly.
Yeah.
Be careful when you pray the prayer, Lord, increase my faith. Because you are a candidate for trouble.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what I did not know is that I struggled with this sense of being in control because I felt so many things in life were out of control. And I wanted to control things. Like I wanted to have it all happen the way I wanted the plan.
Yeah.
Type A, I have a plan. I have a calendar. Things need to
Yeah.
And God had to let me know that you are not in control. I am.
That part.
Everything about your life, I wrote it, right? I'm the author and the finisher of your life.
Yes.
And being in that situation, going through this emergency situation where it's literally life or death.
Yeah.
The doctors are like, we don't know who's going to make it,
Wow.
if either one of them will make it.
Wow.
So I'm laying there post-operation and I look up and I was like, Father, I surrender. You can have all of me. You can have it.
Yeah.
I know I'm not in control. I was like, if this means this beautiful child lives, this is wonderful. If it means that we both get to live, Lord, thank you. But I surrender. I know I'm not in control.
Yeah.
And it seemed like even in that difficult situation, he brought us through because I had a 19-month-old at home.
Right.
And then this NICU baby in the
Oh
hospital.
my gosh.
And had to go back to work
Oh my gosh.
a month after an emergency C-section. So
Now, why do they do us
Oh,
women that way?
it's so terrible. Body was trying to heal.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
pumping.
And
I was teaching. I was a classroom teacher at the time. So luckily I taught sciences and I had a closet where I could go in and pump between classes and refrigerate and then go home and take care of the baby and then go to the hospital. And
You're such a strong woman. I'll go ahead and say that.
it was God carrying us through.
Wow.
Now that I look back on it, I was like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I know I was not doing it in my own strength.
Wow. You know, and we have a similar story in that.
It's like parallel lives. This is
Yes,
scary. We have
I
so much
know.
in common that it's terrifying.
I know. My second child almost took me out.
Wow.
Yeah. And I know I shared it a little bit with you guys before, but it was after the C-section.
Yeah.
I had gained a multibacterial infection. And it was in my body for a while because I was in so much pain.
Yeah.
I couldn't walk. It was just a lot of pain. I could barely breastfeed because just touching my stomach or feeling my stomach
Yes.
just hurt. And I went to the hospital for the second time. I said, listen, something's not right. I've gained a fever. So I started having fevers.
And that's the first thing they tell you. If you have a fever, you go back to the hospital immediately, right?
Yeah, and they're just like, oh, you're very ill. I know.
Oh,
I know that.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah. So I had a huge abscess on my uterus.
Oh, my
18
goodness.
centimeters. Yeah. And the doctor kept coming in, was talking to my husband. If she didn't come in, she would have died.
Yeah.
You know? And like just hearing that, it's like, Lord, thank you for speaking to me to go to this hospital.
Absolutely.
Because the doctors were telling me to deal with the pain.
Not knowing.
Yeah.
That you were dying.
Right. And they're like, yeah, you just gotta deal with the pain. Go ahead, keep taking pain meds and deal with the pain. I'm just like, are you crazy?
There's so much wrong.
Do you not know what I'm really feeling on it? Like, I could barely walk in this office and you're telling me to deal with the pain?
No.
I'm leaving the hospital crying.
Yes.
In a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And you're telling me to deal with...
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we need... I was so glad that my husband was there to advocate for me when I couldn't advocate for myself.
Yeah.
And it's a testament to us that we have to take our health serious. We have to listen to our bodies and continue to seek out professionals that will listen to you and understand, hey, this is not just, oh, I had a baby pain.
No,
because I've
had a baby before, and I know what
something else is going on.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my! I'm glad you listened to your body.
Yes, me too. Me too. So, just by hearing you, I know that you have grown up in faith.
Yes.
Tell me about that. How did that
background.
happen? Yeah. What's the background?
Well, my grandfather, my maternal grandfather, was a Methodist pastor.
Okay.
My father is a Baptist pastor.
Okay.
Uncles, aunts, deacons, deaconess. So I basically grew up in the church.
Okay.
So I am a PK, right?
Yeah, to the bone.
I am a PK, right? People say, put a cape on her because she was super Christian. My friend called me super.
Okay.
And I'm like, girl, no, I am really regular.
Yeah.
But it was a journey that I'm glad I had to take. I don't have a lot of the horror stories that others individuals had to go through. But even as a PK and growing up in the church, we have these trajectories that people don't understand, right?
Yeah.
There's so many unrealistic expectations that are set on you because your father or your mother answered the call into ministry. Now you're living in this microcosm of a society with, you feel like you're in a petri dish and people are constantly watching you to see if you're going to make a mistake. And the grace that they want extended to them is not extended to the pastor's family, right? You have to be above reproach. And even within our household, it was tumultuous inside of the home, but we had to put on a facade outside of the home that everything was, we had it all together.
So how did that affect you?
Oh, it taught me how to hide. It taught me the best place to hide was in church. It taught me how to wear the mask.
The best place to hide
is in church.
Yes.
A place that was supposed to be open for the broken was the place I knew I could hide. Because no one was asking, how are you really doing? And then we learned, like, if someone does walk up and ask, hey, how are you doing? Oh, I'm blessed and highly favored when I'm screaming on the inside.
Oh, my gosh.
Right. Yeah. So we had to pretend and do church well, but was walking in so much brokenness. I didn't know who I was. I had very low self-esteem. I constantly questioned, why am I here? Why? What was I left here for? Was having to deal with so many things inside of the home and had no outlet to discuss it. Because, again, growing up in the South and your father's a preacher and you happen to be a girl, be quiet. Yeah. It's better to be seen and not heard type of thing. So on the spectrum of trauma responses, you can go to one end, which is the alcohol, drugs, runaway, all those things, or you go to the other end of the spectrum, which is perfectionism, and that's where I ran.
Okay.
So I wanted to have everything had to be perfect because maybe if everything was perfect, I would be finally accepted.
Yeah.
And I realized that was a trauma response.
Yeah.
And it's so many people, especially so many high achieving women, that is our coping mechanism. Perfection, which is an illusion.
Yeah.
It's an unrealistic illusion that we place on ourselves to win validation and approval from other people. Yeah. So that's one thing why I open the way that I do. I know who I am now. I've grounded my identity, but I had to go through a period of deconstructing and unlearning all of those things I was taught consciously and subconsciously about being a Black woman in the South in the church.
Right. So with you having to realize I'm a perfectionist, and this is a thing that I gained from my past life. What brought you to the moment of saying, okay, I need to see what was going on with me? Like, what was that moment that you had that brought you to realize something right?
It was years down the road. Okay. Right. So in school, high school, I was valedictorian. I was
perfectionist. Just
listen, just take a minute.
Okay.
I played the piano for 4 churches.
Okay.
I played softball. I played basketball. I was a cheerleader. I was editor of the yearbook for 2 years in a row. I was in the band. I was the drum major for 2 years. Like, doing all of these things, right? Exhausted. Wow. I was tired. But I knew education was going to be my way out. Yeah. So ended up earning a full ride to college, university, hotty-toddy. I am the University of Mississippi, but those who love it, we call it Ole Miss, right?
Okay, yeah.
Full scholarship to Ole Miss. Wow. Went there, again, president of the Black Student Union.
Oh, you keep going.
Member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. What? Like, all the things.
Resume just
gospel choir, the University of Mississippi Gospel Choir. I'm still playing piano for churches. And I'm just running. And my body was like, girl, you're tired. So I didn't know, like, why am I so irritable? Why am I feel like my mind would not stop. And I could never, even after all of those accomplishments, I couldn't celebrate what was accomplished. I was like, no, we minimize that and we move on to the next thing. Yeah. So I had learned basically to chase the mountain all the time. So get married, graduate from college, we're living together, have this first child. And I'm like, wait a minute, something's off. Something doesn't feel, I'm not feeling the sense of fulfillment. Like, I'm a mother, I'm excited. After they told me I'll never be able to have this child, let me go get another degree.
Oh, okay.
Let me go get another degree, right?
Okay.
So I'm in a counseling program. So a requirement of a counseling program is that you have to go to therapy.
And look what the Lord be doing. I'm talking about,
I had to go to therapy.
If you ain't gonna call a therapist, let me put you.
I was like, let me go get a degree. I want to be a professional school counselor. That's what I want to do. One of the requirements is you had to go to therapy. And they began to ask the background questions about, hey, how did you grow up? Tell me about your family history. Tell me about all the things. And the therapist at the time, she asked me the question, when do you rest? And I couldn't answer the question.
And that was the question.
When do you rest? I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean rest? Like, I have to work harder than everyone else because I have to achieve all of these things. What do you mean, when do I rest? And I was like, wait a minute. You're asking me that for a reason. I'm supposed to rest, but I've been conditioned not to. So what you do not address will come out in so many different ways. You will act out, you will perform out, you will degree out, right? I tell people, I'm finishing my doctorate this year.
Wow.
Like, more degrees than a thermometer. Yeah. Just insane. But this one feels different.
Okay.
Because I'm not doing it for the validation of other people. I had to sit back and learn. I was doing all of those things for someone to look at me and say, I'm proud of you.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. I was looking for validation from the outside.
What did you ever get validation when you were younger?
No.
Mm.
It wasn't because my parents were not caring,
Mm-hmm.
all of those things. When you are the strong or you the firstborn, those things are expected of you.
Mm-hmm.
So when you accomplish those things, it's like, we know you could do it.
Mm-hmm. We're expecting you to do it.
Yeah,
so.
we knew you could do it.
Yeah.
So you have these things set up on you, right? By birthright, so to say.
Yeah.
But you never hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know it, but it's another thing to actually hear it from the
Yeah.
people that you love.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So you're in ministry now.
Yes.
So how is it being in ministry, especially as a woman?
Oh, it's so different. It's different now.
Okay.
I ran from this calling for a very long time.
Okay.
I did not want my children to experience what I experienced as a traditional PK. So I ran. I ran until I was tired of running. There were moments of ministry that just happened. The type of person, like, I can walk in Walmart and people want to tell you their entire life story and then ask you, hey, would you pray for me? It was happening in college.
Wow.
Like, I didn't fit in. Like, I wanted to go to the club and throw this thing in a prayer circle.
I was the same way. Wait.
And throw this thing in a prayer circle. Yes, I did. I wanted to. And it was standing out like
that one. That's a new one.
It
Throw
was
it in a prayer
standing
circle.
out like a sore thumb.
Oh, that was me.
Oh, when you have the calling on your life, you want to fit into these spaces that you were designed to stand out in. And I didn't want to stand out.
Yeah.
I was tired of standing out.
I was tired of people calling me weird.
Yeah.
Dang, she weird. She don't want to go to the club.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be in my room.
Yeah.
I'll see you when I get back.
Yeah. That was it. Like, I had a great time. I'm like, oh, it's 10 o'clock. I'm out, y'all.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
It was a wonderful time. And my line sisters now, they laugh because I was the mama of the group, right? I just want to make sure everyone is safe. You get home safely, all of those things.
Yeah.
But fast forward to 2017, I finally surrendered to that call on my life. And people told, growing up in a Baptist church, you're like, oh, women, they're not supposed to be ministers. You could be an evangelist and all of those things. So the first person I talked to was my father.
Okay.
And I said, Daddy, I know what I've heard.
Yeah.
I know what's in my heart. I can't sleep. I can't rest. I know that there's a call of ministry on my life.
Yeah.
And he said, I know it too.
Okay.
I know it too. Like, it was no denying it.
Yeah.
It was no denying it. So finally,
he was waiting for you to come. Yeah.
I think it was. I think he didn't know if it was gonna be me or my brother, but he knew one of us was gonna have it on our lives. And in 2017, like I said, that New Year's Eve, I really seek the Lord at the end of the year for the new word for the year.
Yeah.
And he gave me the word new. I was on my face midnight, December 31st. I'm not at the club. I wasn't watching the ball drop. I'm on my face praying, seeking the Lord. All things new. Great. Just started a new job. Wonderful. We just purchased a new home. Oh, it's all lining up. These things. Purchased a new vehicle. Oh, this is great. Everything is new. And then chaos ensued. I announced the calling. You have to do traditional Baptist way. Announce the calling in ministry, get up before the people.
Yeah.
That was in April.
Okay.
And then right after that, my son started having seizures. Had never had a seizure before. There was trouble in my marriage.
Wow.
Just chaos ensued. So I'm on my face. And again, in one of those moments, and I'm going, God, you said you were making all things new in my life. What is going on? So I'm basically having an all-out temper tantrum with the Lord.
Wow.
On my floor.
Yeah.
At home, alone.
Yeah.
Everyone else is gone. And he was like, are you finished? And I'm not finished. Let me tell you something else. Like, we have that relationship.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm angry. I'm hurt that my marriage is under attack. My child is under attack. And I know it's not anything that's really physical. The doctors can't find anything wrong, but he's having seizures or we don't know what's going on. And my husband has lost his ever-loving mind. And I love this man. What is going on?
Yeah.
Are you finished?
Wow.
And when I finally said, yes, I'm finished, he said, yeah, I am making all things new. But you don't get to dictate to me how I make things new.
There you go. There you go.
So I had to get my little self up off that floor.
You see how God be doing us?
He gets us together.
He does now.
As the young people say, he will read you for filth.
Oh, yes.
And say, get up.
Yes.
So I got up out of that floor and had to walk out this process, right? And I think that's where we learn about the fruit that's produced in our lives.
That's it.
And the fruit for our lives is never for us.
Yeah.
That's what I had to learn.
Yeah.
A tree is not nourished by its own fruit. The tree is nourished by its roots. And I had to get rooted and grounded in God being my father.
I love that.
I didn't know him as my father. I was under the assumption that works would get me in. So that's why I was always accustomed to doing. That's that perfectionism illusion.
Yeah.
That would get me accepted. If it doesn't work with these people, it will work with my Heavenly Father. It's like, no. I'm a father that provides. I'm a father that loves. I'm a father that gives. I'm a father that forgives.
Yes.
So you have to forgive you.
Yeah.
You have to forgive all these things that have happened in your life.
Yeah. Talking about how God works. So I know you mentioned resting.
Yes.
And I just want to ask, are you still resting from that last conversation that we had?
Yes.
About this job.
Yes.
In your career.
Yes.
So you just named everything that you have done.
Yes.
To get to where you are now. But talk about what you told me about as far as where you are in life right now.
I am in a season of transition.
Okay.
I am a federal civil servant employee that has been affected by all the chaos that is happening right now.
Yeah.
I am still on this period of rest. Don't know when it's going to be over. I know that in this season of change that I am learning that rest is a ministry also. Especially when you are an encourager, you are a giver, right? You constantly want to pour out to other people. And I had to realize that I was trying to pour from an empty pitcher.
Wow.
I was not in a season of refreshing. I love going to church.
Yeah.
I love it. But I was not going out of love anymore. It was out of obligation. Oh, I have to be there. I have to do this. People are being moved by the ministry, but I'm not feeling a thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, this is not going to work.
Yeah.
This is not, that something's off. So when this chaos ensued with my job and all the things that are going on, I was like, now I'm confused because I don't have anything to do right now. What am I supposed to do? I don't have my plan. I don't have my blueprint written out.
Yeah.
Where's the map that I can follow?
Right.
And God's like, no, you have to trust me in this season.
So where did God send you?
Let's talk about this trip, right?
This
you want
trip.
me to talk about the mountaintop,
I want you to talk about
right?
this mountaintop because, let's talk about it real quick.
I'm here for it. So I knew God, I'm an auraphile, right? I love the mountains. Some people love the beach, sand in between your toes. Do you? But I love being in the mountains.
Yes.
And I felt like God was calling me to the mountain, just he and I.
And this was after
all of this was happening.
Yeah.
Yes, this is after. So probably about a month after that happened.
Okay.
And I told my husband, I said, I feel like God is calling me to the mountains. He just wants me to be there with him. And I'm so glad that he's a man of faith, too. He was like, you need to go. So looked at spaces online on Airbnb, and I was like, okay, I found this one place. And I was like, I'll go here. And no, let me go look for something else. Maybe something else is fit, Kept going back to that spot. And I was like, okay, I'll go here. I picked the spot. That Sunday, I'm leaving that Monday. That Sunday, I was like, Lord, you can talk to me here. You're everywhere, right? girl, pack that bag. That's my husband. Girl, pack that bag.
Yeah.
You are leaving here tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So pack the bag. I'm in Gatlinburg, right at Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge area. Love the area. Love it, love it, love it. So I'm on this mountain, right? I'm driving up. There are 4 cabins that are on the mountain. They are all empty. I'm the only person that's on this mountain. I pull up. In front of my cabin is a chapel. Now, this was not on the Airbnb site. And I was like, it's a big cross sitting right here. I was like, okay. Park my car, walk up to my cabin. The name of my cabin is the Mustard Seed.
Okay.
I was like, okay, I guess I'm supposed to be here, right?
Yeah.
And then there was this beautiful lookout point where the company had a swing. You can look out and see all of Pigeon Forge.
Oh, I love that.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, this is wonderful. And I look up and I kid you not, I took pictures to document it. There was a single dove that was sitting on the line, the electrical lines above my head. I was like, okay, I'm supposed to be here. Lord, what are you calling me here for? And he said, rest. I was like, I don't know what this means.
Yeah.
I got arrested at the house.
Right.
4 hours away,
Yeah.
So I'm there. Monday was absolutely gorgeous. It began to rain Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Oh, the rain.
So it's storming, and I'm here again on the side of this mountain by myself. So there was finally a break in the rain. And I was like, I feel like I need to go outside. Like the yearning to go outside and be in nature was there.
Yeah.
Like, so I go out, I go to the lookout point and sit down, have my little umbrella. It was a little foggy, but you could still see Pigeon Forge.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous. So I'm sitting here and I am crying. I am praying. I was like, Lord, I don't know what all of this means. This has happened. I've been placed on this leave status and I didn't do anything wrong. My husband had a job offer. The job offer was rescinded. God, it seems like all these things are going on and I have no idea what to do.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a cloud comes and just rests on the side of the mountain to the point I can't see anything anymore. Like my hand is in front of my face and I can't see it.
Wow.
It's that thick. And I began to smell something so sweet. It wasn't like candy. It wasn't perfume. It wasn't flowers, but it was so intense and so sweet. And I felt a peace envelop me. I was like, God is here. And everything that I was crying out in prayer, he began to answer. He said, you had been telling me that you were tired. I gave you rest. It just didn't come in the way you thought it was coming. I said, not only are you resting, but you're being paid to rest. So I give it to you better. He then told me, he said, I had to bring you here to deal with your pride. And I had to clench my invisible pearls. I said, Father, I am not prideful. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Pride.
Right.
Not me, like a Drake.
And that's what he's talking about right there. that one.
That part. Yeah. I was like, I am not prideful. I don't feel like I'm a prideful person. I had to deal with your pride. He said, you thought you were making the connections and making the trajectory in your career by walking this way and talking this way. You forgot that I was doing it through you.
Wow.
He said, sweetheart, you're not creating anything in your life. You have the beautiful privilege of discovering what I've written about you.
Wow.
I felt so free in that moment. Oh, I had been crying out about finances. Oh, we don't know what's going to happen. We're just going to have the job, da-da-da. He said, when I sent the disciples out, how many of them had bank accounts?
Oh.
He said, which ones had bank accounts? I said, none of them, Father. But everything that they needed was provided.
Yeah.
So he took me to the book of Jonah.
Okay. Oh, there it is.
He took me to the book of Jonah.
Yeah.
He said, okay, I want you to just start reading Jonah chapter 1 all the way through. Read it. And I was like, okay, I can do that. He gives Jonah the word. This is the Latoya version, 2025.
Okay.
gave Jonah the word, go to Nineveh. The people's wickedness has come up before me. I want you to go preach repentance to those people. Jonah was like, oh, I ain't doing that. He got on a boat in Joppa to go to Tarshish, which was in the opposite direction. Goes down, pays the fare, gets on the boat. All the people, other people on the boat, they have their cargo. They have everything they need for their provision to go across and even to sell to make money for those families right there. And I was like, okay. He said, now, this is what the Lord's telling me. I'm reading. It's like it's almost like this, like you and I are having this conversation. Yeah. And he goes, everything that happened in the child's, nothing is wasted. Nothing is wasted in a child of God's life. Everything that happens is for your good and my glory. Keep reading. Okay. Jonah's on the ship. They're going across. Here comes a storm. Storm is going on, raging. The people on the ship are throwing cargo overboard because they're like, we're about to die. The ship is about to sink. Yeah. They're like, everyone needs to call on their gods. They're casting light. Who has angered their God, right? And everything pointed to Jonah. Well, Jonah was down in the hole of the ship, sound asleep. They go wake him up. Dude, who are you? Who is your God? What is your profession? I'm a Hebrew. I serve the Lord God of Heaven's army. I'm the problem, basically. This is why the storm is here. Yeah. And I laugh because I'm thinking about it in real time. And the Lord was like, keep reading. So he was like, okay. Jonah's like, what the guys ask him, Jonah, what do we do? Yeah. They was like, you have to throw me overboard and the ship, the storm will stop. They turned to God and was like, hey, don't kill us for killing him, but he's telling us we got to throw him in the water to survive. Yeah. God was like, keep reading. So immediately they throw him overboard. The storm stops. And this is the first time, and I've read Jonah so many times, the first time I saw where when the storm stopped, the people on the ship began to offer sacrifices to God and vowed to worship him forever. And I had to think about it. I was like, oh my goodness, it wasn't just the people on the ship. This was a patriarchal society. Their entire households were changed. Wow. God was like, so it was for Jonah's good, but for my glory. I was glorified even in his disobedience. And then, now he said, okay, do you think Jonah going in the opposite direction caught me by surprise? Keep reading. Very next verse, very last verse of the first chapter of Jonah. And the Lord had prepared a great fish to swallow up Jonah. He said, when do you hear of me creating anything? The creation happened in Genesis. So if I had created this to happen to swallow up Jonah, do you think that caught me by surprise? He said, sweetie, nothing in your life catches me by surprise. It's already written. Jesus and God and the Holy Spirit were not looking at each other like, what are we going to do? He went in the opposite direction. No, he said it already prepared him. That fish represented the grave that Jonah's pride and his disobedience had to die in. So if you're reading in chapter 2, Jonah's drowning. The fish swallows him up. Inside of the fish, he's praying. He's repenting. He's like, Lord, I disobeyed you. I know who you are. I'm going to follow your way. He begins to repent. And then once he repents, the Lord commands the fish to spit him up. And then he gets the same message in the beginning of chapter 3 of Jonah that he got in chapter 1. Go to Nineveh. Yeah.
You need to obey me.
Go to Nineveh. Do what I told you to do. Right? Jonah does what he's supposed to do. The whole city of Nineveh repents. They turn to the Lord. He changes his mind. They are saved. Now Jonah is upset because he didn't want those people saved. So chapter 4 ends with Jonah basically being angry at God for changing his mind and saving people. Wow. And when God had already told him in Ezekiel, like, I do not wish for people to perish. I want them to come to repentance. I want them to be saved. Yeah. But Jonah gets upset. And then it's like the story ends. There is no chapter 5 of Jonah. We don't get to hear anything else about Jonah. Yeah. So I was like, oh my goodness, the pride of my life is thinking that I am creating these things. Wow. when I have the beautiful privilege of discovering what God has written about me. So what I'm learning in the chaos of what's happening in the world today is that I'm in this season of transition, meaning my chapter is changing.
And you're resting.
And I'm resting.
And letting God.
I have to be prepared to climb the next mountain. The mountains are moments. Like, I don't know if you've read Jonathan McReynolds' books before you climb any higher. It was like he was writing the manuscript of what I was experiencing in that moment.
Wow.
We as Christians have glorified the mountain so much that everyone is chasing those mountain moments, not realizing that the sustaining piece of life is in the valley. We've demonized the valley, but that's where life is. If you look at the mountains, right? The mountains, the higher you go up, they're bare. There's no vegetation. There are very little animals that can live there. The air is thin. We were never created to live on the mountains. If you look at the valleys below mountains, they're green. There's rivers. The land is stable enough for you to build, to grow. The Father sustains us in the valley. That's where we're strengthened before our next climb. So I have to graciously, and this is what Jonathan said in the book. And I think this line, oh my goodness, if people live by this, it will change their life. We have to graciously accept the descent from the mountain so we can gratefully accept the next ascent of the next mountain.
Wow. Wow.
So whatever is coming, I know it is going to be big.
Yeah.
And I have to be rested to be able to do it.
Yeah. And it's all about letting God take control.
That's it.
Period.
He's in control.
Yeah.
He's writing out the story.
Yeah.
He has written the story.
Oh, yeah. You're just...
I have to blindly follow. I have to follow by faith and not sight. Like, I can't see where I'm going next. I have no clue.
Yeah.
But I've met some amazing people in this journey, in this period of rest. That's how we met.
That's how we met.
It was one phone call. I was like,
crazy.
hey, can you come up here? I was like, sure.
Sure.
And just showed up. I've had the ability to be present.
Wow.
I've had the ability to not only fall back in love with the word, but having the time to share it with other people.
Yeah.
Like, discipleship in this season has been something that's been glorious.
Yes. I love that. And that's what it's all about.
That's it. That's it.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, we have this opportunity we open up our home on Sunday evenings to have Bible study for anyone that's come. Believe it or not, we have an opportunity to sit down and talk and teach. And then doing one-on-one life with other people. Like, I'm a discipler now.
Yeah. And that's beautiful.
And I love it.
That's beautiful.
It's such an honor for someone to even walk up and say, hey, would you disciple me?
Yeah.
And the weight of it, I was like, Lord, this is this whole ministry thing you were talking about. So I was like, I don't want to be the traditional.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't want that micro. He said, who told you it was going to be? Yours is going to be different. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm fine with different.
Yes. Yes.
After you've heard it your entire life. I'm fine with it.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that so much. And now look, you're doing the same thing even on this show.
It's such a wonderful opportunity.
Yeah.
And I feel free.
And don't you have a book?
Oh, girl, too. I did not mention I am an author. 2 books.
Okay. See, you holding back on this.
Just a little bit.
All right, so you have 2 books. What are they called?
The first one is called Dear Woman of God, and the second one is called Dear Man of God.
And where can we find them?
You can find those on my website at latoyanewson.com.
Okay.
LatoyaNewson.
Perfect.
Like new baby boy. That's what I tell people.
Yes.
Newbabyboy.com.
Oh, perfect. Okay. I had to click. Okay. And also, one more thing. What is one encouraging piece or word that you could share to any woman, especially who have been a PK or who is a PK, and they're experiencing the things that you've experienced, what's an encouraging piece you can share with them?
What I can share with you, you have to remember that you are God's son or daughter. Especially for the women that are white. Remember that you're the Father's daughter. You are God's daughter, and He provides for you. And don't get tired in doing what's good. This is my life scripture, Galatians 6:9.
Yeah.
Don't be weary in well doing.
Yeah.
In due season, you will reap if you faint not.
not.
I love the New Living Church. If you don't quit.
Yes.
Right. It's so easy to sit back and watch. It seems like other people prosper.
Yeah.
And you can have the faith to move a mountain for someone else and not have that same faith for yourself. You're worth it.
Yeah.
You're worth it, daughter. You're worth it, son.
I love
You
it.
have to believe that for yourself.
I love it. Well, you have blessed me today. You have blessed me today once again.
Thank you.
And I'm so happy that you are here today, that you were able to share.
I'm grateful.
Your story.
I'm so grateful.
Oh my gosh.
Just for you having the platform, for your obedience in creating this platform for us to tell our stories.
Yes.
Because there are people that are in the middle of what we've come out of, and you've opened up this platform for us to be able to share, to give people hope.
Yeah. Don't make me cry.
Yeah, it's the truth.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
Yeah, because
you
are
a catalyst for hope.
Hallelujah. I was there, and I needed a space to go because I felt alone in a lot of stuff that I experienced in life. And just to be able to have this and just being obedient to God.
Yes.
Because this is definitely not a comfort zone.
Oh, no.
You know?
Not at all.
But it's going to help so many women.
Yep.
And I don't think it's just going to help women, but men as well.
Absolutely.
Because these men be watching this podcast too.
Absolutely.
And I hope that y'all are being encouraged as well. Especially even to know how to handle your wife, to know how to, just hearing about our side of things. So I'm really, really grateful. And I thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, well, thank you for the opportunity. It's a blessing and obedience, right?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
I was
so honored.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you guys so much for tuning in to our show today. We hope that you were encouraged, blessed, and watch the other videos as well. The ones that you have not watched. Catch up on the episodes, our previous episodes, and it's going to bless you. I love y'all so much. Thank you for watching. Peace out. Until next time. Bye. Bye.